Hello everyone, this is day 19 of 30 Days of Healing. And I just wanted to say again how grateful and thankful I am to have so many people commenting, sharing, and liking these posts. It's been quite an awesome experience for me to share with all of you something which I've never done before. I've never gone live every single day for a month before. And I really appreciate everybody sharing in the comments what the videos have meant to them and what they've gotten out of them. Because as you might know if you watched the first couple, I actually didn't know what was coming up in these meditations. So, hi Jen, yay, you're on again live, I love it. So good morning Australia. This is probably pretty early your time zone, my dear. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to see the impact that the angels' messages have on everyone. And of course, they impact me as well because I'm learning every day alongside you with some of the things that they share. And of course, the great, what shall we say, practical examples they give me with events that happen in my life in order to teach me what I'm going to be sharing with you later have been quite insightful. And that's what's happened today. So our theme for today is control or lack thereof. So I'm kind of been asking the angels, can you at least make it so that as much as you're trying to teach me or us about control, that the whole video still goes live and it posts well and everything's fine with this feed. I think hopefully the lessons are done for today. Hi Tracy, good to see you, hon. So control or lack thereof is our theme. And it's so weird because when they were kind of recapping the day, I was just sitting on the couch quietly. And as I was thinking about the theme of control, all these little things came up in my day where I didn't have control over something or something didn't go according to plan. And Jennifer says that's quite fitting because I know Jennifer's going through a time right now where she's definitely not feeling in control, but yet it's such an awesome thing, Jen. Like, it feels right, so go with the flow. And that is what today's about too. So it's appropriate that you're on for that prompt. Good morning, Cara. Well, morning to you. It is 7 p.m. my time-ish on Tuesday night. So happy Wednesday to you guys in Australia. So the weird thing is they were telling me all these things about control that had happened to me in the day or reminding me about them. And then when I sat down to do it, they all went out of my head, bar one. So the point is that the other examples don't matter, essentially. Well, two examples, but one wasn't mine. The first is, as you might see, I have much shorter hair for summertime. We are in the middle of summer here in Canada. And my long hair was, longer for me was driving me a bit nuts. I know there's people out there with much longer hair than mine. And I showed my new hairdresser. So lack of control in spades here. My current hairdresser, who I love and adore and finally found someone I loved, quit hairdressing to become a landscaper. So a little bit of a huge career change. And I said to my husband, I finally found someone that knows how to do my hair. We're on the same wavelength. She's great with color as well. Not that I'm natural at the moment, which is cool. But landscaping, I said, I'm just going to sit at the edge of a hedge. So she's chopping the hedge and then she has to do my hair. So, landscaping, hair cutting, same idea. But yeah, so I tried the other hairdresser who took her place in the same salon. Lovely lady. Got along great. Had similar things in a shared past geographically. And I showed her a picture, which those of you who've been following me for a while, it's my profile picture for this business page, for my YouTube channel. It's kind of everywhere, right? And I showed her that picture and I said, I want that. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a hell of a lot shorter than that picture. At least it feels like it to me. And yeah, hair grows, right? And that's what I keep telling myself. And it's short for summer, which is what I wanted. But I can't control the fact that my hairdresser became a landscaper or that she cut off too much. I can't glue it back on, right? That situation is beyond my control. It's still cute. It's just not quite as feminine as I was wanting. So, but that's fine. It's done. And I thought, I could get, as Aussies would say, I could get my knickers in a knot and get upset about it, or just go, well, you know what? Hair grows. It's all cool. At least I have less hair to worry about. Let's go on with our day. Then there were like 2 or 3 other things that happened throughout the day, which apparently they don't want me to share because they're gone from my memory completely. But they were prompting me about the fact that today's video is about letting go of control. And just as I was thinking about coming to record this, my lovely husband sitting beside me, and he said, hey, by the way, have I told you that weeks 24, 25, 26, something like that, of the Year of Healing course won't play on my phone? I tried to listen to them last night and none of them worked. And I said, well, why didn't you let me know sooner? And he said, well, I just was catching up last night and one didn't work. So he went to listen to the next one. That didn't work. He went to listen to the next one. And sure enough, he hands me his phone, and I tried everything I know that's worked in the past for people when meditations wouldn't play. Everything that I know, the link was correct, but it just took you to SoundCloud and you just looked at it. It wouldn't play, pause, anything. And I had that feeling again of being out of control and thinking, isn't it awesome that Tim actually wants to catch up on his meditations? Because I'm already blown away and loving the fact that he wanted to do my meditation course. But it's frustrating that when he's ready to do it and he's been homesick all day, he could have caught up, he could have listened to them all, and he couldn't open them. And so I didn't like that there's something I want for him to be able to do and he couldn't. And that lack of feeling of control. And there's also bigger things in our lives that are going on. So without mentioning names, unless you want to out yourself, there is someone I know who's going through the fact that they suddenly found out that they need to be out of their house and had a choice of signing on for another 3 months or getting out in the next 30 days. And things have changed a little bit since then for them. But while going through that process, there's that stage of panic. Like, I got a bunch of kids, I've got tons of stuff to pack, and I have to find a house, and my husband works a lot. What the hell? Like, how am I supposed to do this? But yet that same beautiful person has also been saying for months that their house no longer fits their family and they really want to get out and they want a bigger place and they want more space. And so this is the universe delivering what I know you're ready to have, but there's still the panic of what the hell, right? Like, a month? I didn't think you'd only give me a month. And so what our beautiful spirit guides are wanting us to know about these what the heck moments and the lack of control when it comes to interactions with our loved ones, our kids, our jobs, our security, our homes, our lives in general, is that when we feel out of control, it's often when we're out of alignment with trusting in our purpose or trusting in the universe to provide for us. Because the angels are conspiring to help us. They are not conspiring against us, right? So our spirit guides and angels and tribes of spiritual, energetic support want us to succeed. They want us to get on the right path for us. They want us in our dream home. They want us in a job that we love. But as human beings, we like to control the process. I remember when, way before I was even married, I was working in Australia. I'd worked there for a year, and I had been offered to keep working at the school where I was teaching, and I didn't have permanent residency in Australia. I was on a 1-year business visa, and I had to leave the country to go home for Christmas and to visit my family, and because my ticket said I had to go home, and it was before I'd been offered the full-time job and everything else. But I had applied for permanent residency with my work sponsoring me and didn't hear back. And I called that guy at the embassy, whatever it's called. And I called him and I bugged him and he said, can't help you. And I'm like, but I'm leaving the country. I need to know if I need to leave the country with all my stuff packed, never to return, or do I put all my stuff in storage and get on the plane and not come back? And what about my boss who thinks that I'm starting work and has me on a schedule for all of these classes come the end of January? And he couldn't tell me. And so I went within and I went, okay, what am I meant to do right now? And I felt very strongly that I was meant to continue with this job at this beautiful school with the most amazing principal. And that was meant to be mine. I even found a rental house that was, didn't turn out to be the greatest in the end, but my friend's family rented me a house that was great the first year. And I moved all my stuff from where I was studying to where I knew I was going to live. I put everything in there, hopped on a plane, and went home for a couple weeks, leaving all my possessions in Australia except for the ones I needed, with not knowing if they'd even let me back in the country for permanent residency. And I went to my sister's house for Christmas, and she was amazed. I remember how shocked she was. She's like, "What do you mean you came here not knowing? What about all your stuff? But what if they don't grant you permanent residency? What are you going to do then?" And she just was shocked that I would be so calm about it. And well, I wasn't calm before I left. I rang that dude every day. But by the time I left the country, I had made peace with the fact that it was kind of like a little test of my trust, right? Some people don't like the word test. I personally think I was learning to listen to my intuition at that phase. My intuition said it was going to be fine, and everything had guided me to that moment, right? I was meant to stay in that country for a few more years because it was 3 years later that I met my husband through that school. So I was meant to be there because he's my man, and that was right. So I went home, had Christmas with my sister. She freaked out and thought I was crazy. And then I think I'd been there maybe, because they're obviously closed over Christmas holidays. I'd been at her house for maybe a couple of weeks or visited my family, my mom and dad, and came back. And then I got notification, your permanent residency's being approved. You're welcome back into the country. And it was that simple. It was just like this little email. Yeah, you're good to go. And so when I went back into the country, got approved, stayed for another 9 years after that. But that lack of feeling of control is not something us human beings like. And one of the ways which we try and find a way around it is to make pro and con lists. And here are the pro reasons to move house, and here are the con reasons to move house. And we think that the list with the longer reasons is the right way to go. And right now they're showing me a list, and they're saying, what if the only thing you had on your pro list was because it feels right, because it's meant to be, because I know it's where I'm meant to go. And then there is no con, is there? Because we're listening to what our heart wants, to what our heart says, to where we feel guided, or to where we've found the signs of where we need to go. And with me, that often happens with moving house. And it's not until retrospect that I can look back and go, holy shit, like everything conspired to help me to get where I was meant to be. So what the angels want us to think about today is to let go of the control, let go of the need to control everything, let go of the need to know where this is taking me. That now I'm allowed to talk about, thanks, I'm allowed to talk about the other experience of lack of control. So, and they're showing it to me like a big neon light. So why it wasn't at the beginning, I don't know. The other thing that happened to me, maybe one of you are going to be able to help me. For a while now, I've wanted to create an Oracle card deck. Originally, it was going to be a positive affirmation deck to help teenagers, and that got started, and the editor I got was weird, and it fell apart, and she still owes me money, and I don't think I'm ever going to see it. And I lost my inspiration for it, and I think that was the big thing. I went from gung-ho excited to feeling sludgy and draggy and like it was too hard. And so this time around, for quite a while, I've wanted to create a card deck around the 52 weeks in the Year of Healing course, so that people who took the course, or even ones who didn't take the course, could use the positive affirmation mantras that come with gorgeous pictures, usually of nature, and use the deck that way, so that the weekly message, there'd be a kind of a summary of it on the back of the card, and we could get the message that we needed each week. And Jen, when you say you'd like to know more when, you mean with house moving or the Oracle card deck? I think you mean house moving. Trust, Jen, less control. So Okay, good. So you like the Oracle card deck. Yeah. So I was like excited about it. Then it fell off my radar and the book became the priority. And then I recently got excited about, Jen says, now I want to know about both in the timing. The house, trust, it'll all come together perfectly and you're going to be shocked by how amazing it is. Okay? Hold that image in your head. The Oracle card deck, I don't know. Because now I'm back feeling out of control because I wanted to take the mantras, which I've already completed, which people have been using in the course for now almost 2 years. Year one has been running, maybe 18 months. So we know the images, we know the mantras. And so I went to look up online, found a site that looked like I can make cards quite easily. I could custom them the way I want them. I could order one at a time or 5,000 packs at a time to distribute to people. And I got excited about it. And then I thought, well, I better make sure this is a legit site and that people trust it. So I went into one of my spiritual groups and said, hey, peeps, what do you think? This is what I'm thinking of doing. And a dear friend of mine, thank you, Cara, if you're watching this, not the Cara who's on right now, Cara with a C, who has done her own animal oracle card deck, which is just beautiful from what I've seen. I haven't ordered one yet. Said she tried to do it the way I was doing it, and it didn't work because the resolution wasn't high enough. And then I went on the site and tried to do something and it wouldn't work. And like, seriously, I felt like I was banging my head against a wall. And I went from super excited, I get to be creative, this is my creative outlet, I'm going to do this, I'm finally going to create this deck for my beautiful people. And then it all kind of just fell apart. Phew. The hard thing about live videos is I can't sneeze without embarrassing myself. So Cara, I know the Cara who's online with a K, they sound so awesome. I agree. I think they'd be fantastic. I was going to do it for year 2 as I went along as well, and it's not coming together. And I go back and forth between, does the inspiration come from above or is it me thinking or pushing something? And if it comes from above, why isn't it falling into place easily? Oh, the glasses are bugging me again with the reflection. So it's getting back to trust. And so after the 3rd roadblock coming up, I went, is things going wrong because I have to feel the fear and push through it anyway, because it's something really new for me to figure out? Or is it telling me not to take this route? And of course, with my frustration at the time, I walked away and just went, fine, it means I'm not meant to do it right now. And upon reflection, and then in a very cool way, there's a person I follow online that does oracle card readings every day, just one card from any Doreen Virtue deck. He actually said, if you're planning a new endeavor, that to plan more, don't jump right in, because the mistakes you make or the things that don't go quite right at the beginning could end up being huge later on, like huge problems later on, and to do some more research. So I'm thinking maybe that's what my lesson was, is that I have to sit down and think about it a bit more. And I'm so grateful to my friend Cara with a C, who helped me immensely by saying, hey, the first time I did it around, I did what you're trying to do. The resolution was too low. The deck didn't work. Because I would have put seriously hours into creating that deck only to find it didn't work. So now I've decided to manifest a perfect solution that's going to work. I have no idea what it is right now because seriously, my brain's just gone, I don't know what to do. And so I share that with you, not so you take on my problems, but so that you realize when you have those moments where you go, I don't know what to do now. Something's happened and it's put me in a position where I have no idea what to do now. That we take a step back. We look at it positively and go, if I'm meant to do this, angels and guides, please help it come together with ease. And then ask people who are in the know, talk to people who've done it before, or your trusted people to give you valid feedback advice. And then sit with it and see what comes up. Because if it's something you're really meant to do, you're not going to constantly hit roadblocks. You're actually going to find a path that feels like flow. And I think I mentioned this in an earlier meditation, that one of my favorite Abraham Hicks thoughts, which is funny because there's not a lot of them in my head, but the one that has always stuck with me is to swim downstream, to not keep going upstream and struggling and thinking this must be the way I have to go because someone told me so, or it's the plan I had in my head all along. They say to go downstream. What's easiest? Where's the path that makes the most sense? And I'm doing this with my hand and you can't see me. I'm going down the stream. So that's what I felt in that moment when I butted my head for the third time about trying to get these cards to work. I went, I need to take a step back. I need new perspective and I need to allow it to happen. So now I've given it over to my angels. I've been reminded lately of my personal angel guide that appeared to, well, not appeared. Is appeared the right word? I heard one night when I was living in Australia, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and 4 is the angel of the number of angels. Angels are with you. And it was a voice outside of my ear. Like there was someone kneeling beside my bed while I was sleeping who whispered in my ear, which is such a big deal for me because normally when I hear angels, guides, ascended masters, whoever's talking to me, the shaman I work with, they're all voices which I hear within, or a feeling that I get, or an image that I've shown, or they just take over and the words come out, which is often with these videos. It might sound like me, but a lot of the time it's their words that they're putting in my mouth that they want us to know. And to hear it externally was very powerful for me. And it turns out she was telling me her name. And in a healing, a couple weeks later, I was working with a very powerful healer at the time. And partway through, she said, whoa, this has never happened before. And I said, what's that? She goes, just a second. There's a spirit being here who wishes to talk to you. And she said, I just want to make sure that she comes with good intentions. And it turns out it was my spirit guide and she shared, she's been with me forever. It was her that came to talk in my ear. And she wanted me to let me know that she was with me from then on. And I looked up the meaning of her name because it wasn't in English, the name that she was giving me. And it essentially means love in Sanskrit or something. And I've been reminded of that lately. Her name has come up again and the number 4 quite a bit. And I don't know, for a while there it felt different. Like I was talking with Archangel Michael a lot and the shaman I'm working with, who represents all shamans. So I can't give you his name. He's like the shaman of shamans, kind of, it's shamanic energy. And yet, so her name's Hanaway, or Zen Hanaway was what she told me her whole name is. And we all know what Zen is. But Zen Hanaway is her name, and her name has started coming up in my thoughts, in my writings, when I find things I randomly wrote ages ago. And so I don't know if she took a break and is back, or if she's always, she's always been there, but she took a step back from guiding me because I had to start working with Michael more. But we need to listen to those still small voices. And so now I'm trusting Zen Hanaway is going to help me with this next step, because she's obviously stepped forward again, and to remind me that we're all love. So yeah, my spirit guide might be love, but we're all love. And that's what we're here to manifest. And so getting caught up in the little details of life is what we need to release so we can focus on the bigger picture, which is to be love, to share love, and to have love around us. So thank you, Tracy, for your comment. So Tracy said, lack of control is something I used to have a problem with, but I feel more trusting now, which is very evident, Tracy, I gotta say, in your shares, both here on this page and in the Year of Healing group. You have a different energy to the things that you share with the group. So I can see that you're not worrying about control as much. And she also shared that she remembers that quote from Abraham Hicks as well. It's one of my favorites. And I'm sure it's like, the way I said it is not a direct quote, but the concept is there, the idea of it. So thank you for those shares, Tracy. So yeah, feel free to share below about your control issues or where you need to let go of control, and allow for your intuition to take over. Your angels can't speak through you trying to force control in your life. They can speak to you through you letting go of control and intuitively living. And for people like me that are A-type personalities who like facts and figures and structure and predictability, it's not easy, but the more we do it, the easier it becomes. So keep practicing our intuitive muscles of letting go and trusting and looking for the signs and going with what feels right rather than what's right on paper necessarily. And Kara says, so true. Love is all that really matters. A good reminder. Very, very true. And Jennifer, thanks, Rebecca. I'm trying. I know you are, Jen. It doesn't come easy and it doesn't come overnight. You're doing well and you're going to get this. And you're going to be so happy when it works out. Trust me. So yeah, we're on day 19. So we only have a few days left together. You can still share these videos with friends, the event with friends, and let them know that they're still welcome to join us. The old videos are still there and they're still relevant. And yeah, after this, I think I'll still come to you at least once a week, it looks like, because the angels and guides got more to say. So thank you so much for being here, all my Aussie friends. It's awesome to chat online with you. And I will see you on the flip side tomorrow. Lots of love and angel blessings. Bye.